Welcome to the Press Onion Podcast. We have the ladies in the house today. We have two women in here. We have Laura and we have Shauna. I'm going to let them say a little something about themselves. Go ahead, Laura, and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Laura Hyder from Huntsville, Alabama. Currently work at Verizon Wireless. That's pretty much a little bit about myself. Just a goofy little person.
Go ahead, Shauna.
Shauna Floyd, 31-year-old speech therapist, native of Huntsville, Alabama. Happy to be here.
All right. Well, ladies, I'm going to open up and I'm going to ask you all, what is your love language? Do you all know the 5 love languages?
I do. I can't remember what mine was.
I got them for you. So we got receiving gifts, quality time, words of affirmation, acts of service, or physical touch.
I remember mine. Mine was quality time and words of affirmation. It was like a tie between the two. Because I would like, it's pretty much just saying the right things or listening to me and things like that, as well as spending time with me or spending time with you. I like to, that time thing is a big thing. So yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
What about you, Shauna?
Yeah, I took that a long time ago. I can't remember, but just from reading the list, I think mine's the same as yours. Quality time and words of affirmation. Who does not love that? You love that, just affirming your affection for me, who you see me as, and the quality time is just so important.
Okay, I agree with that. And mine were acts of service and quality time. And so I'm big on quality time. I'm not big on saying the I love you type stuff or like constantly touching you. So quality time is a plus. I think that's an important thing in dating.
Right.
So the reason I said to ask you all that, for some reason, the languages of love have come up in every podcast.
Okay.
So we just want to throw that out there. So we're going to get started, and as women, we want to see what's your views on dating. Last few shows, we had guests and we talked about alpha males versus beta males. We did a show on love versus trust, and we did a show on marriage. And we had the guys in, they was giving their responses to what they see as an alpha male or a beta male, and how do we value love or trust? Are they the same? Are they different? Do you need a combination? And so we want to bring the ladies on and get the ladies' point of view on some of those things that we talked about in previous shows. So first thing, views on dating. Like, how do you go about dating? Like, what do you expect out of a man? Like, do he need to come in and do certain things, or do you all vibe to a certain level and then go into the datings?
When it comes to dating, I guess it's more so, it's not like you have to do anything specific. It's just let it be genuine. Like, let the date or what you want be what shows me you. Because that's pretty much the first impression, really. I mean, you met me, you asked me out, or you met me and we talked over the phone or whatever, but I want to know what you do to show me you in a, if not affectionate way, but in a way that's different from me just, talking to you in a regular conversation. So if you're going to start a date, or you're going to plan it. Make it what you plan, not what what I've said, I wanted to do, but you may have gotten some tips from me, but make the date something that you uniquely came up with. It don't have to be you taking me to a 5-star restaurant. Yeah, that's nice, but if it be something like a little date at a park or something, that's something that you uniquely came up with because you thought it was, showed me you and it was your idea, and it just is genuine.
Okay, so you more on the tip of the guy actually showing you himself, not really going with the stereotype of like, yo, let's go to the movies or let's go out to eat. Right. Like if he say like, hey, you know, I like skateboarding, and you all go to like not necessarily to watch somebody skate. Maybe he takes you there so you can see him.
Right. Like he may go, you know, see him skateboard, or he may teach me how to skateboard, but it's something that he's interested in and he wants me to know and, you know, to see if I'm interested in it, or just, you know, kind of just connection that way. Yeah.
So you're big on maybe learning from the guy?
Yeah.
What he likes? Also,
Because,
and vice versa.
Right.
Okay. Go ahead, Shauna.
I'm trying to remember the original question.
Alright, it's gonna be
okay, go ahead.
what do your views on dating?
Okay.
Like, do you when you're dating a male, how do you want to be approached?
Gotcha.
In a sense.
And that's what I kind of went back first. I was like, if they get a date, and I'm not saying nothing or anything, but the fact that, especially when you get a certain age, you know, and just from learning experiences, like, you don't need to say yes to everybody, because that's just opening doors you don't want to open. But we get to that point, we go on another date, like I'm with Laura, you don't have to be anything fancy. I'm not looking for you to spend a bunch of money or anything of that nature. I feel like that's just this common misconception perhaps that guys have, but they feel like, oh, I need to impress her, show her I have this and that. But with me, it's not the case. Like I said, if we get to that point, let's get somewhere so we can talk logically about some things. Like, I want to know who you are. I want to know your values and different things. So definitely somewhere we can talk and, you know, have fun, of course, but that's kind of my thing.
Okay. So how big is values? Like, foundations, like say, you know, you come from different families. How big is that dating somebody?
With values, to me, it's pretty big, because how can you build anything if you don't have some type of foundation? Like, you just can't just go out there and say, oh yeah, I do this, and change it up every once in a while. You're pretty much building bricks and then take them away, and everything's a little unstable. I need to know, you know, how you feel about this or how you feel about that. So you know how I feel, and maybe we can, you know, build on that. And then if we don't build, then we know we can go ahead and drop that and let that go. Because values are big.
How early can you talk up and give the tough questions?
See, I feel like some things you're gonna learn the first day just by random conversations. Yes, ask directly, but you can learn a lot about a person just by, you'd be surprised. But even,
small little questions or small little conversations, because if you give good conversation questions, you're going to get somebody that's interested, that wants to talk, and they're going to pretty much, you know, want to explain themselves or give their examples to it. So you're like, okay, you know, that hits on what I already know and I need to know, and then I'd be like, maybe not. So you get those things.
Okay. And I feel like it's so important to have those dates where you can actually talk, because I've been to where, okay, we went on 1 or 2 dates. I haven't really sat down and really talked to you, and then I do, it's like, okay, this is now we already started, you know, building something. Like, yeah, this may not be the best thing.
The best would be having dates it could be activity based, but a lot of downtime in the on the date.
Right.
Like, if we, a lot of people like to go to the movies, which I love too, but if we only go to the movies, it's not really, you know, that much opportunity.
Right, because I can just go to the movies anytime by myself or with a friend or something like that. But if I'm going with someone that is interested in me, I want to be able to talk to you. Yeah. I can't talk to you during the movie, first of all. So make some time before the movie or after the movie or something like that. So there's some conversation in there. There's some talking. It's not just, okay, the movie started at 6, I'll pick you up at such a time, and all right, I'll meet you there. And after the movie, okay, that was nice. That was our date.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you for paying for me.
Showing up. All right, I'm gonna say this is not on the top of the list, but long distance dating. Yay or nay?
I'm not opposed to it, honestly.
Me neither. Because you can get a lot out of a long distance relationship. It really depends on where you're trying to go with it.
Yeah.
All right.
And if it can't stay that way. It can stay that long distance, but the goal, is to I mean, that adds a whole lot of other things into the equation that you have to.
I always say with long distance, one person gotta be able to move.
Yeah.
So like, if we can't be in a serious long distance relationship if moving isn't on the table for one person.
Right. Someone has to be able to be flexible, or both, but someone has to be in the mindset of, okay, we're gonna have to be closer somehow, or something we're gonna do.
Now, what I would say in like a long distance relationship, you get to talk more.
True.
You know, so you get the hard questions out. But like I say, when I was in a long distance relationship, the weekends we would be together, or the time we would be together, we would do so much. Or better yet, she would want to do so much that it would take away from actually getting to know each other.
Gotcha.
Like, so you get to know each other over conversation over the phone and stuff like that, but like that person, like face to face, getting to know each other, and it was limited. Like, we'll do so much, like say you get in town, or wherever you meeting at, or wherever they coming to, but you'll just do stuff all day, get home, and it's just time to go to sleep.
Oh, yeah.
So like, you never really got to maybe cherish the person's time, or you can say just learn from the person. Like, do I really like this person? Like, being in their presence, like when you're like say at the movies on a date or going out, you're not really getting to know a person. You know, like if there's an activity involved, I don't think you know who that person is if that's all you do is activity, and it's not just downtime where like, say if we're still talking about an out of town relationship, like you're sitting in the living room just talking or watching TV around each other, and like you get to see like maybe if they antsy, or like you know, they just gotta keep moving, and maybe that's not you.
Right.
So by you all saying the movies thing, that made me think about that. Next question. Do you all identify with alpha males and beta males? Is that a term that women even acknowledge?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, what is a beta male?
Alright, I'll tell you. A beta male, as Todd said in episode 2, is a fish.
Okay.
A fish is basically, a beta male is basically a guy that's very passive. He's not really, basically female runs him. You know, he's not into, he's like, we can call him a lame guy. He's just not, he's going with the flow of things.
His backbone is not as strong as you would want it to be.
Yeah, he's gullible, you can run him over.
He's not a leader. He's not a leader.
He's not, he's not a leader, he's a follower. And I'm glad you mentioned the word leader. So, and an alpha male would be the opposite of that. Now I will say, I have from the first show, we talked about alpha males, and we said they're providers. They handle business. But after that show, I think we started thinking, or in that show we started thinking that we use alpha males we tied it in with the aggressive nature.
Okay.
And I think after listening to that, I came to the conclusion that alpha males do not even have to be aggressive.
Yeah.
Alpha males are basically like the lion that's controlling the pride, and he's just laid back. He knows he's the leader. It's just like you're a natural born leader. And you don't have to show anybody else that you're that leader. They already know from your presence that you're alpha male.
Just have that presence in you.
Yeah.
So do y'all agree? Like, do you identify with alpha males and beta males? Like, is that something like in a girl's conversation that y'all would say, like, talk about?
Like those terms specifically?
Yes.
I have never sat with
I
you.
was saying, no, it's not those terms
beta.
specific. Yeah. It's.
How would you all describe men then?
Oh gosh. It would, from majority of my friends, it's more so it's more like saying I don't want a guy I can run over. And I don't want a guy that's going
Restrictive.
right. I don't want a man that I could just run over because we know what we can do.
Yeah.
And then you have the I don't want a man that's just going to be controlling and tell me everything I
And
want.
see, when you said alpha, I was like, I don't want beta or alpha.
Right.
When I think of alpha, I'm thinking like,
He's just
like
right.
you said, aggression and anger. I'm like, I don't want neither one of them.
You
Okay.
doing right. You doing too much.
And now I said in the first episode when it was told, I mentioned at one point that we mentioned about alpha males, and I said that I don't even look at white men as an alpha or beta, and I said it because I think it's more a culturally situation. It's more cultural. Like the black culture, I don't know who created alpha males and beta males, but I think it's more a cultural thing. Like I don't think white people be like, oh yeah, alpha male, you know, because I don't know many aggressive white men, but at the same time, I know plenty of white men that are what we're considering an alpha male. You know, like they lead their family, they in charge, you know, they handle business. But I don't really see some that are just aggressive. That I know that I can say if I have to just sit down and think about if they're alpha male. So like, is that something in the black community that we should? That we can, I ain't gonna say we made up, but should it be something that we should maybe distance ourselves from?
So
Like just the term of it, because she's like you said, y'all never talk about it, but when you think alpha, you think aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
But alpha male do not have to be aggressive.
Right, because I was just gonna say you have that man that's kind of in between too. Like he's an alpha, but he's also somewhat of beta. I guess he just kind of knows his way. Like he knows how to navigate. He knows how to be the leader. He knows how to back off. And in my mind, I'm thinking more so of you got somebody that's grown, and then you have someone that's still in their immature ways. That's kind of how I guess I view when it comes to the whole male thing. Alpha males, you know, from your description, they're aggressive. They're pretty much they come through the room. Their presence is straight on. It's you see them, they're just boom, and there's no shaking that person. There's no moving him out of the way. If he stands on what he believes, it's what he believes. But what if what he believes is not what is the best decision or something of that nature?
That's what I'm thinking. If it is, I was wondering, can you have the immature alpha? Because that's dangerous.
Right.
Oh yeah, you
So have those.
I would say that's the one that beats on his chest.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
Just
that.
one that's like that 8. Like you just sit there and
Yeah.
for no reason. You're like,
And that's a root of insecurity too, though.
Right,
If you
it
think
is.
about it, that's both a
that's a big.
immature. Both a beta is obviously immature, or let's say immature, but got something like some insecurities.
Right.
Possibly, he just really just. I see a beta, someone who's really just unavailable, emotionally unavailable, is not showing up for his woman, is not.
He's scared.
I'm big on gender. No, I don't think gender roles, but I think, okay, a man is the head of the home.
Okay.
Woman, that's my view. So if he's not stepping up, either there's some insecurity there, he's just emotionally unavailable, something's going on
I believe alpha male could be emotionally unavailable.
For sure.
I was gonna say, you have a lot of
You
them.
know?
That's that alpha, that 8 type deal.
Uh-huh.
The whole beat on the chest. But again, and then you find out deeper why they're so insecure, because it could be something that they've dealt with, and their head is high now, but they're like, I'm not gonna come down. I'm just gonna, I'm staying on that straight street, and don't, boo. It is what it is.
So is it possible to have a mature beta? Or is that just completely...
That's the
you know what I
thing,
mean?
because
Like,
that's what I'm
are
saying.
these
Is there no in
personality
between?
traits? Are these just personality traits, or is there...
Because I don't think there is, because if a beta is pretty much that person that's weak, you're weak. That's it. Like,
Yeah.
You don't step up to anything. Like
Gotcha.
you're in front of my face, and you know what is happening to you could be wrong, but you just kind of just back off on it. That means you're just a beta. but you have that person that, you may not be the strongest person, but you know your rights and your wrongs. You know what you're going to stand for and what you're not. You might not be the most stand-up person, stand-up guy, but you're going to take your steps to like, hey, okay, enough is enough. You're going to stand your ground pretty much.
Can a female create a beta male into an alpha male?
You know what? I think she can play a role. I think a woman's role is powerful as far as, I think a beta male, depending on, and I feel like the term's so wide, depending on what kind of beta male guy, you can affirm him and kind of step back, give him the opportunity, kind of, not push him, but affirm the words of affirmation, affirm him into his position, like, speak life over him and give him the opportunity to lead. Make room for him and ask him to come forth for me. Be the, I feel like you can offer that. Now, whether it works or not, that depends on the situation.
I was gonna say,
okay.
If he receives it, then that's a whole totally different thing. But yeah, I'm gonna say push. You can push him. Like you can give him things. Okay, just be, because that's what women are anyway. We're supposed to help.
Yeah.
We're supposed to support. So if we see you falling off, we're supposed to not just like you're doing this and that, but we're going to, hey, you did this. Let's try this, or maybe let's try to do some different things. Just be a pusher to that person, and you probably could make him from what people see him as at first to something that he actually needed somebody to push him to be.
For sure. So
can it be where a woman who's turning this beta male into alpha, could she be abusing that? If more than I'll just say this, if a woman is trying to turn a beta male into an alpha male, is it more I said that wrong. Is she manipulating him to get what she want? Or is she doing that to make him the head of the household?
It should be into making him what you want. First of all, you're not trying to build him. He's not a build-a-bear.
Okay.
So you can't make him into this, okay, first of all, you should never want to go into it to build a man anyway. If you notice that he has some flaws or things like that, you help him towards it. But you're not finna go in there and just like, okay, I want him to be this, and this. Because that can turn on you real quick. You sit there and build him to this, and then he become, he doesn't want you after a while or something like that. So you don't want to do that. Yeah, you don't want to just make him into something. It has to be something that you see within him. You have to see that, okay, he can be a whole lot more. He just needs a little push.
Okay. Well, because I got that from a female. After this, I had got a call from someone who listened, and they stated that a lot of alpha males, they said a lot of beta males in this generation has become alphas because women have created them to be an alpha. As in, basically, more on she's trying to make him the head of the household or trying to make him feel like a man, and in the process have kind of I won't say brainwashed, but fed into his ego and made him think he's the man, when on the back end she's really just using him as a puppet.
I believe you that it's happened.
That
it's probably happened before.
I can see that happening, but then that's where I kind of get where she's coming from, but that's when you're kind of going out places, and you kind of see that type of couple where you can tell that person's been made into something because that other person has okay, this is what I want him to be. And then, because when he tries to do his own thing, then it's no, honey, no, that's not it. That's not gonna work. So she's still that person guiding him to be something that he's actually not. You can't make anybody what they're not. They're not either they're gonna be it or they're not. Because if you don't have it, you just don't have it.
So now, and that would work both ways, male and female.
Oh yes, most definitely.
No projects.
Right.
No, I'm
special
dating a
like
project.
I was gonna say, best case scenario, you get with somebody who already understands who they are as a man. Because I really think, a woman can't show. I think you can encourage him and kind of affirm him, but you can't teach him that to be a man.
Right.
Like that's got to be something that comes from another male.
Right. We can't make no man.
But what if you don't have a male figure in his life to show him? Like, I'm just saying, like, I personally, I won't say I had male figures, but not like on a day to day.
Yeah.
But I did have male figures that came into my life that, I'm gonna just say, me being an alert young male, I was able to pay attention to what they was doing, and see like, okay, that's how a man act. That's what a man supposed to do.
Gotcha.
But now also it took my mom, telling me, hey, this. I'm not really saying this is what a man do, but I'm gonna just say, early in life, take me with her when she go pay bills.
Okay.
Letting me carry the check or the cash into the place and going up there and paying the bills with her, and then letting me know. I'm gonna just say like maybe in middle school. Like, I know in middle school, I knew all the bills in the house. Not necessarily my mom was telling me, hey, you gotta pay bills or nothing like that. It was more just the responsibility level of it. Just saying, this is how much rent is, this is how much the utility is, how much phone service is, all this stuff. So, I think if a male is absent, a female can speak those things into him and let him know, like, this is what a male should do or should be doing. Right. But I think it's also the attitude of the woman.
Gotcha.
If it clicks to the guy. Correct. Like if she's actually showing him, like let's just say he don't know how to do those things or never was emotionally available to accept those things, and like she come in and like she's telling him. Then I think it's you can't create a bait into alpha in that sense, but like. Now, if she does it to make it like where she just basically in control and she's doing it to make him feel a certain way to hide what she normally does or what she's doing, and then that is a problem. So, but for sure. That's our alpha male beta, and it's crazy that y'all don't talk about that. Like, like men, you hear it a lot, like in male conversations.
I was going to say, that conversation, like, so dude, he's an alpha dude.
Yeah. Not really saying it like that, but we do say, he's, maybe we don't use the word alpha beta, but like, I'm just saying, like, he's too passive. Yeah. He gullible, or you gotta watch him, or you just kind of know, like, and the crazy part about it, man, I only have those conversations with other black men, so I truly believe that it's probably like a culturally, a cultural issue that we just have as men. Like, I don't think it's like something like white men sit around and be like, yeah, I'm an alpha. He an alpha. No, he ain't no alpha over there.
But so, have you ever really sat around? Because you never know, they might have the same conversations, but not in the same lingo that the black men may have.
It may be in a different lingo, but we will find out.
I just would say, because I guarantee, I have a feeling like all the men have the same conversation. It's just depending on who you're with. Like, I have brothers, so when they're together with my cousins, I'm sure their conversations are like that. Oh, he a little too passive, or he this and the other. And I've seen groups of white men together, and they're talking, and they're probably like, Bill, you know what I'm saying?
We talking, but like, I don't think the alpha beta come up. We use other words. Yeah. So like, we quick to call a guy a simp, or
weak.
Yeah, like he gullible, or he cake daddy, he just doing whatever for the women.
Got you. Oh,
so
that type of guy.
Yeah, like he just, he ain't really running nothing. Like his woman run him though.
Yeah, that's the conversation we see and we're like, oh yeah, nope. Yeah, don't even try it.
Okay. So how important is the male being a provider in a relationship?
General relationship or marriage or
No, I'm gonna just say, I say you gotta know while dating if they're a provider or they gonna 50-50 you into, every situation that involves doing things financially. So like, is it important to be a provider or is it just say like, the best way to say it, let's say this. Is it okay to date a man that you have to be the breadwinner?
He's making more or he's not making nothing? Like,
I'm just saying, like,
trying.
Alright, let's just say no, you the breadwinner. The female the breadwinner.
Like, I'm the one.
How hard is that? It's like, so that means you're gonna pay for the bulk of everything. Like, would you still view him as a man? So now you can put your own like scenario. Like if he, let's just say up front, you gotta pay the bulk of the stuff. He's paying. He works, but let's just say he can't get a job, a better paying job. But he's handling. He does the best he can. Would that be a situation where he was less than a man to you?
No, because if you're trying, there's a difference. Like I'm saying, if I'm the one, say just we roll up on hard times, and I am making more, and he's not making the most, and he can't find a job that's pushing him up in savings or whatever, or to help to provide or be the breadwinner. No, I'm not gonna view you as less of the man if you're trying. Because if I see you hardworking and you're still doing your thing, I'm at work or we got kids, you take care of the house, things and the other, and we're being still equal and you're still, providing for me in other ways, then yeah. But if you're just sitting there just doing nothing and that you could do better, or that you're not getting to the point to where you can keep us afloat or, get us on a level ground, then yeah, I'm going to, because you're pretty right my coattail. At that point.
I like that. That leads me into, do gender roles matter? So like, can you go out and cut the grass and he clean inside the house?
Yeah. I grew up in a household like that though. I'm just saying. Yeah, I grew up in a household like that.
Okay.
I would like him to do some of the more nasty stuff if I want to do it, but some of the harder things, but I'm not.
You're not.
If you can clean the house better than I can, better go clean the house. And if I cut the grass a little better, okay, then that just be the case.
Okay, that's good. So gender roles do not matter now.
Now though?
Yeah, like in this day and age.
Because if you go back. Just thinking about looking at some of the things nowadays, it probably does because I don't know. I guess it's just how things are in today's. From when we grew up, we saw a different way. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I saw it in a different way. My mom and dad did both. Like my mom could do stuff outside. My dad could do stuff inside. My dad stayed outside most of the time, but they were doing both. But nowadays it's like. You doing stuff inside because you don't want to get your hands dirty. Type deals when it comes to some guys. And then you have women that are just like, okay, I'm just going to take over because you're not. Because the roles do reverse. Because you got women that want to be the man, and then you have dudes that just want to lay back and do it.
Okay. So have you heard of the term alpha woman?
Yes.
How you like that? Like, is that, or do any of y'all identify as an alpha woman?
I've been told I was a couple times, and I had to think about what makes me that way. And the person who told me this was like, because of your mindset, because you're so leader mindset. You want to, you kind of have your thought process is okay. Let's do this. We need to do this, or we can do this or we can, type of deal. Like I identify as a leader. I'm not even gonna lie. That's just how it is.
Okay.
And I didn't shun from it, but I was like, okay, but I'm not gonna dumb myself down because you feel as though I am too much of a leader. I know how to step back. Now that I can do, no problem.
Like,
but you're not just gonna dumb me down though.
So how you feel about the step back?
Well, I was saying that too because I'm trying to figure out. They say being an alpha woman was a bad thing. I'm trying to figure out.
Oh, sometimes people can view it as a bad.
Some guys do view it as a bad thing. They're like, because it's almost because I guess the guy who told me this, and I can get it, I got this from him. He wanted to rule me. He wanted me to be like, all right, this is what I want you to do, and this is how it's gonna be. We're not together. Yeah. I'm not your wife, so I'm still gonna do my thing because I still have, my goals and things I need to do.
Right.
But you can't stop me because you want me to just stop and do what you want me to do. And I don't want that way.
Gotcha. Well, I was just gonna say there can be I feel like that could go like a positive twist on that, and there can be a really, you can be an alpha woman and like we talked about, be dominating, demeaning, domineering, like. Just think up on
I would say this: most alpha, when I look at it two ways.
Okay.
Alpha woman could be the independent woman. Okay. She's been doing stuff on her own. She knows how to handle business, and the guy come into the picture. You just can't run game on her. You're able to, you have to be able to say, all right, she got everything going. You can't just come in and tell her how to handle business. Unless you handle business at a higher level than her. Then maybe. But then you also have the alpha woman that we would say in a negative light, she's a man eater.
Gotcha, yeah.
So it just depends on it all depends on the mentality of the woman. So if it's going to be a positive or a negative as being an alpha woman. But I'm assuming most alpha men and alpha women, they butt heads. Because both are leaders, both handle business, and you just can't come in and tell me how to do something.
Yeah, but then you have to know how to compromise too. You have to know how to meet somebody. At that point, because you can be strong-minded and a leader, but that doesn't mean that you can't work out. But if you're just so strong-minded to the point that you can't budge, then you don't want anybody. Then you just want to be by yourself. You just want to be that whole independent. I do it myself. But don't get mad when everybody that tries to come in doesn't want to stay, because that's just what your mindset is. If you're not there to compromise and know how to back off things like that, then you're gonna be that alpha person, whichever male or female, by yourself, walking around, beating on your chest, trying to get somebody to get your attention.
Right. So, Shauna, how do you view submission in dating? When dating, how do you
I was thinking about that because marriage, I'm like, okay, I'm fine with that. But in dating, I mean, I guess you're kind of.
Can you submit in dating? How about that?
It depends. Like
early dating,
early
dating. Like, can you be submissive?
Can you give me an example? Like, if he's trying
to. Let's say a submissive moment in dating early on. Let's just say early on. Oh, it might be a bad example. You're dating and you all are going out of town, and he wants you to. He selected the location for you to go, and basically let's say this, he asked you prior where you want to go, you say you don't care.
Okay.
He picked the location, you hated it. Can you submit to accepting that you had the moment to make the decision, you passed on it, he made a decision you didn't like? Can you submit to that without bringing up another location at this point. So it's basically like, oh, what you want to eat today? I don't know. He taking McDonald's. You want Chick-fil-A?
This happens a lot. I mean, eventually, I'm gonna eat. Well, I'm not gonna be to the point where it's a trip, it's food. So, but this is the thing. This is what I was gonna say. If I'm dating you, then I'm obviously considering marrying you. So I'm not gonna ever get to the point where I feel like I'm not. I'm gonna always try to work with people and try to be, anyway.
Submissive? Try to be submissive.
Yeah.
So,
or that's the goal, but yeah.
Or compromise.
Do submission come?
That's what I'm kind of thinking.
Do submission comes after marriage or before marriage?
I guess it comes with the whole, when you get to the point to know if that's the person that you want to be with. If that makes sense. Like, cause you date with potential.
Yeah.
For marriage. And then when you get to the point, I guess, of knowing, okay, this is it, then I guess your roles start to kind of change because you're like, okay, I want to be this man's wife or I want him to be my husband. So you start to kind of do things that mirror that whole marriage relationship. Though, you haven't jumped through, you just know where it's going. You know that your end result, your whole goal is you're going to be married. So things do kind of start to change up. That's further down though. This ain't no at the beginning. Because
let's say you were a solid 6 months in.
And see.
A solid 6 months in, like, when, so like, to me, I'm really asking, when do you become submissive to your dating partner? It don't look like the lady
there's like this situation with the whole trip. I feel like that's the time that we can both work together. I feel like in general, marriage is gonna be working together. There's always gonna be, if we're talking about submission to decisions and things of that nature, like somebody got to back down eventually. I feel like through the whole dating process, there's gonna be opportunities to. Somebody's gotta back down.
But I just see a compromise. It's always gonna be opportunities to compromise.
So I'm trying to figure out what submit.
It's compromise and submission.
And but what they say that you're a wife before you're found. So I feel like you can really.
So you should be submissive in the very beginning if you
have that kind of mindset.
You're a wife before you're found. You should already be submissive.
But that don't mean I'm just gonna see. This is the thing. I feel like submission is not that you don't have opinions or ideas, or even that you can't say, "Oh, is there anywhere else you want to go?" To me, I'm not even sure. I'm trying to think of a good example of submission. I don't know.
I think you all are viewing submission as bowing down.
I was just gonna say because submission is submission if it's not the whole how some people use it, you have to be submissive to a man to where you're going. That's different.
No, we're not talking about.
We're talking about like who gets the final say type of situation. Is that what you mean?
No, we're talking about just being a submissive person. Not saying you have lost your train of thought or it's the moment like on Coming to America. Like, we're not talking about that kind of submission.
Gotcha.
We're just talking about submitting to the person that you're with. So, like, let's just say this. Easy way to say of submission. I'm stronger in this situation. You're weaker in this situation. I take control. Vice versa. So, she mentioned earlier, if he clean the house better than me, clean the house. That is submitting, or I cut grass better than you. I'm going to cut the grass. But, I would say in all submission, whoever is weaker has to want to learn to become equal. And the stronger person has to be willing to teach that person. So, me, I like to cook. More than likely, I'm not going to meet a female who knows how to cook just as good as me, probably. So, instead of her not wanting to cook, come in the kitchen, come cut the onion up, come cut the green pepper up, come see me cooking, you know, like be in the kitchen with me. That way you can learn versus like you just stand on the sofa waiting to come and eat. But at the same time, and you have that same scenario, like I cooked, she was on the sofa, food was ready, she went fix the plates. You know, it's just more of a I do this, you do that, and it's not really saying I gotta match everything you do, but it's more of the partnership of it. Like, hey, that's your strong point. I'm rolling with it, I'm supportive of it, but when it's my time to do my part, I'm coming in, I'm gonna do my part. But at the same time, it's just I think the word submission to women is like, nope, I ain't giving up on my power.
I guess because it's how you were using. I'm thinking like, wait, what does he mean by this?
You know, I gotta give it like say if the husband's like, hey, I really feel like God's leading me. You want us to move here, like so. That's the one where you can be like, no, we ain't going. That's not this. You know, like that's kind of those big decisions. Like
that is a big decision, but.
I guess I still like the word compromise.
So compromise over submission.
It's, I guess, because the way that after you explained it, I get it. So yeah, that could be at the beginning because once you've learned from that person, once you've learned someone, then you can know, okay, that person is more stronger in that aspect. Maybe I want to learn something from that person in whatever, maybe cooking, cleaning, running a business, or I know that I'm good at baking, or I know that I'm good at being creative and coming up with different business plans. So we just have to learn how. That's from learning one another. Because after you've learned someone, then there's no problem with you being that submissive person when it comes to you may have an idea, or you both come up with an idea that you want to plan a party, but you know that he is the better planner of the party. So, I'm just going to go with your lead on this. So I'm going to follow you with this. And I'll put my input in where I can, but I'm here to help you because, I know that you've done this and you've had this and you've been successful in it. So, yeah, I'm going to help you out with it. And that just comes from learning, though. Because you can't just be submissive off jump. Okay, I'm just gonna do whatever he says.
I think you could meet a person and be submissive. Like you gotta know the person.
I was just gonna say
you gotta use your discernment when you first meet a person. If I'm gonna just say most times if a person is good for you within 5 minutes of conversation.
Okay.
So, you know how to come in and say, gotta watch this person. And I ain't gonna, you keep your ears up. And then you know what? After a conversation with a person, all right, I can let my head down and relax with this person. So, that's what I think. But me personally, I think, if you go in a situation and just be you, whatever you are. So if you're already that submissive person, you could just be that person naturally, and it'll let you know early on, nope, they're gonna abuse my personality, so I need to leave that person alone. So that's just the way I feel. I think you just come in and be whoever you are, and if they accept you for what you are, you may know, all right, we may be around each other for a while. Yeah. But, if you got to go in and be this other person, then maybe you shouldn't be with that person.
Right. Very true. And that's just in life, period, though.
Yeah.
Because you can go to a job and be like that. Or your first job or whatever, you get in there and be like being somebody else, and then they hire you and then you just don't fit for that job. Or you go in there being yourself and they hire you and you fit for the job because you're being you is the best thing anyway in any situation. Because if you're not you, then you're playing yourself to be a part of something that you may not need to be a part of, and it can hurt you in the long run. So because
you can only pretend for so long.
Right, boy. You be sitting there.
It's gonna come out eventually. Maybe too late.
Okay. So, what do you ladies think about love and trust? what do you prefer? Do you prefer trust or do you prefer love?
I feel like both require.
I was just gonna say that.
We got both. Oh, we don't have.
That's kind of
Like,
I'll give you something. In episode 2, Ty spoke about trust and love. And he spoke, everybody wants to be, it's 3 levels of love and trust. Everybody want to be at the very top in love. And so love is on the top. In the middle is a neutral area called trust. And the bottom is love as well. Everybody want to be up at the top in that high zone of love. But then when you hit rock bottom part of love, it hurts. So I think we came to the conclusion that we all want to be in that neutral zone of more trust. And we use the analogy of trust is a brain decision or a head decision, and love is a heart decision.
Okay.
So with me, I'm more trust over love. If I trust you, you know I love you. But if I just say to you I love you, don't mean I trust you. So that can go, trusting you is probably a relationship situation. And I love you is probably a family situation. You love your family, but you don't trust them.
yeah.
So, like, it works. But, like, if you're in a relationship, if I trust you, I love you. Like, I don't necessarily have to say I love you and make it mean I trust you. Like, so with family, we basically were saying, hey, I love my family, but I don't trust my family to, like, say if I need money or they need money that they're gonna pay me back. But I still love you. So, but let's speak on relationship. Like, what do you value in a relationship? Trust or love?
Value. I probably would say with me would probably be that's hard because I'm big on honesty. So trust would be a big deal, but love, I guess, because love is I'm almost like thinking because love will make you trust someone in a relationship. But you can love someone, like you said, you can love someone but not trust them as well. Because that's where it kind of gets that whole shaky. I love you, but I don't trust you in this, or I don't trust you in that, or I love you, and the trust can build through it. So that was
to me, they're 2 separate. You can definitely have love without trust, and they don't even have to be nothing you can do. You can fall in love with somebody with trust issues. You haven't done anything, but they've been hurt in the past. So the ultimate goal is to maintain that trust. I feel like a lack of trust in a relationship is not a good thing.
Right. I don't see a lack of trust in a relationship will either have you do one or 2 things: stay into something that you know is not going nowhere because you don't trust that person, or it's going to hurt you in the long run, or pretty much you're in it just because, like, you don't care. You already know that everything. It's pretty much gonna have your mind going in a whole bunch of hurdles. You're telling this person I love you, but as soon as they walk out the door, you don't trust nothing they doing. Like, they could be honestly going to get a burger, and you have made up like 12 different things they did before they went to get this burger and came back because you don't trust them.
How do you break that? How do you break you trusting a person, or better yet, let's just say, and how do you break a person from having, like, the past insecurities affect the current relationship? How do you change? Like, if you're in a relationship with that person, how do you get them to start trusting again? If you know it's coming from past relationships.
I think a lot of that's going to be on them. I think you can help foster that. You can be affirmative, but really it's up to them to decide, like, you can have accountability in the relationship. You can be open and honest and keep communication open. But ultimately, like I said, it's,
how long do you deal with it then?
The thing, there's no time frame in it because, like you said, it's a you thing. When you have people that are just secure enough to get over it and go on to other things and love again, and you have those that are holding on to it. So it's pretty much you have to face it first of all and know what it is, deal with it, and in your own self say, am I going to allow this to harm me as this big cloud that I carry over myself, or am I going to allow myself to be open and love again? Because that's kind of what happens to a lot of people when they've been hurt. They get into relationships and they carry it on. It's like, okay, I can't trust this person because of what happened in the past. Either you're going to get over the past, deal with the past, first of all, deal with it, confront it, and know what it is, and don't see it in someone else, or you're going to deal with it and you're going to see it in everybody. That's not even just the person that you're in a relationship with. You're going to see that in a family member. Because you may miss the fact that you have some family members that are trying to be better so that you can't trust them, because you do got a whole bunch of people that's in your family like, bro, don't get on with it. I love you to death, but you are not going to come to my house today. Don't even worry about it. I already know. But you have to be able to see past some of those things and just see the person. Because if you can't see the person past your hurt, then you're always going to see hurt.
And as far as on how long to hold on to it, like if you're grace for it, okay. But if it becomes abusive, like this is the thing, you gotta gauge how it's. And I'm talking about you staying with somebody else who's like got past issues. Like, kind of gotta gauge what it's doing to you. Is this good for me? Is this affecting my,
Right.
There's a grace for that, but you gotta be wise. Because sometimes, like I said, that's. After a while, they need to. It may not be best for them to be in a relationship right now until then, because you can end up hurting yourself from stuff like that. So you just have to be wise in general.
Good discernment.
And how deep of and what is their insecurity or their trust issues or their jealousy? How deep is that, and what is it actually doing to me?
Right.
And, is this a productive relationship? Are we working? Have we tried to work on it and I see progress, or is it just getting worse, or it's been the same? So I think there's no one answer for that, but you have to be wise. Yeah.
How important is religious beliefs in dating?
Very important for me.
It's important.
You have in this age, you have a lot of people that there's a lot of information out there. So a lot of people practice different religions. And so if you're dating a person, that's what it said, can you date another person in another religion outside of yours?
Ooh, no, I probably couldn't.
I wouldn't go there personally.
I wouldn't mind listening to you in your beliefs, but it's gonna be hard. And because I couldn't see myself dating. I'm just making an example. I couldn't see myself dating a Muslim.
Okay.
Or I couldn't see myself dating, pretty much an atheist, because I feel like if I'm dating someone with that strong of a mindset of their religious beliefs, we're gonna bump heads somewhere. We're gonna we're pretty much gonna be passing each other all the time, and it's gonna be that big elephant in the room when religion comes up, or when morals come up, or when my beliefs come up, or your beliefs of what you do and what I do. So it's always going to be. I feel like it would just be a consistent of bumping heads, because that's Bible says.
So if you all start let's just say you start to meet a guy and he's an atheist. When do you tell him say he tell you after the third date? Do you end it right then and there?
I wouldn't. That opens up a wall of conversation for me. That would be just an open up. Okay, so you're atheist. Okay, let's discuss this, because I want to know why. And that just because that just gives me that whole back and forth. Okay, let's talk about this. Why are you that way? Why did you choose atheism? What's your belief? You know, and then that gives me my chance to get my argument. Because every Christian gets a chance to testify or, you know, walk in to somebody.
So, like, what if just the person just never, like, let's say this foundation. You know, like, I'll say most situations, you always, whenever you're dating somebody, you gotta find out the foundation. Like, you gotta know, like, family traits, family history. Like, did they grow up in church? Did they didn't grow up in church? Like, you know, how the parents were. And let's just say you find out, hey, they never went to church before. You know, so they just don't believe in God. How do you handle that in the relationship? Like, do you press, like, I'm just saying, like, I'll say this, do you press your religion on a person that maybe you're dating or finna start dating?
Nope. It's not a pressing issue, it's a choice. I'm not going to, first of all, I'm not going to press it on you because I don't want to just put something on you. You have to know God. You have to know the Bible. This is what it is. I go to church. You're going to go to church with me. Bruh, please. I'm not, that is crazy. That's anybody trying to press anything. No, you don't press no. You offer it.
You offer? Alright. So, like, if they just say flat, nope, I ain't going to church. Like, do you, like, you know, I'm just saying, like, you have some women that, hey, I can change that. Like, you know, do you stay around to change it? Or you just exit immediately?
Like she said, you can't force anybody to. You gotta, kind of accept people as they are. And like we were talking about the whole dating thing, like I'm not going down that road. I'm not gonna date you unless I know some certain things.
All right, but then let's say this: when do the religion
conversations come?
When do it come?
I knew that was gonna be it.
In my mind, I feel like I'm gonna already kind of know. You know, I don't really just meet random strangers and be like, "Oh, here's my number. You can call me." Like,
No, I'm just saying, like, all right, let's just say this: y'all done had a conversation. And I don't even know how you even ask somebody on a date. Like, I'm just saying. Like, y'all just start doing stuff that's qualified as dating.
You know what? Actually, I had this situation. I did meet somebody and too funny. I could just kind of tell from, I didn't even have to really, I could kind of tell some of the things he would talk about, like the universe and nature. I was like,
I'm gonna tell you, the universe is a giveaway. Right. Whenever somebody, I hear somebody say, "Oh, the universe."
Like,
nah, buddy, don't talk about the universe.
Like this is not gonna work out.
Thanks for the galaxy talk. All right, now.
So, like, how long did it take you in that scenario to exit stage left?
Right. Just the first time I hung out with him.
That was the last.
I'm telling you.
It's
a big deal, but I mean, I don't care how attractive you are. Like, I'm not going down that road.
Okay.
People are different. It's just my, like you said, that's my.
So religion is important in a relationship. Not really. I'm actually. I'll just say this. I'm using the word religion, but I'm more spiritually based than say religion. Right. Like, I know I'm using the word religion, but I think most people identify, if you talk about spirituality, as just religion. Yeah. So, but I'm just saying more like straight up. Like what you see, I think you see a lot of, well, you got Muslims, you got atheists, you also got the Hebrew lights. I don't know. No, it's something like the black Hebrew.
Oh, what are they called? Because they are like, I used to work with one.
Wow.
Oh man, and it's like an Israelite. It's like
like so. You see that a lot in like I would say I think in the black community, that's a religion on the rise.
Wow.
You know, so like I want to say they call themselves they're Hebrews or something.
Because I worked with one. When I say he was, the funny thing is their views are the same, but it's almost if it's a bashing towards Christianity. And the way that they go about it, it's almost like an intertwine of a couple of religions to make this strong. What are they called?
Wow.
They change their names.
Yeah.
Really?
When you talking about submissive, the person has to you're bowed down to that person. And they are the number one provider. They are the provider. Like that's it. I provide. That's it. You're there. You do what I tell you to do. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yikes.
Put you in your
Yeah. All right.
Oh, no.
I have another situation. It's not even on this list. How do y'all feel about Me Too movement?
Now, I'm gonna sound very ignorant. Is that what people are like saying? Oh, this happened to me, and everyone's like,
yeah,
like different things, or just sexual, like.
Just in general, I don't even think the Me Too. I think the Me Too movement it talks about like sexual acts that happen, but I personally look at it as another way. I look at it as it's more of women saying. They're coming out to say, me too, this happened to me, but I look at it more as a systematic shift for women to, slowly start getting empowered. So, this Me Too movement, in my opinion, it systematically is removing a lot of powerful men, making them level out in a sense. And not saying, I think they still have power, but I think they relinquish some power, maybe by I gotta step down, I can't be the CEO no more. Yeah. I may still be the owner, but I gotta put somebody else in place, and 9 times out of 10, it may be a female they put in place to soften the blow of women coming after them even more. So I look at it as women is a way for this I guess you could say the 2018 women's suffrage movement where it's making, I ain't gonna say they're making women equal, but it's women coming in and making moves to be in charge or start balancing out that male dominance and slowly bring that male dominance and bringing the women uprise and kind of going to even it out, and then women just going to take over. So more like pro-woman or feminists, I think they're behind it more than what we the public may know. But that's just my opinion on it.
I guess I haven't seen it that way. I've only seen, I guess, because I've tried to. I guess for majority of it, I don't pay too much attention to because some of it I feel as though it is. I want to take, like you said, I want to take the person out of power because I've seen them go forward. So let me just voice his opinion. And some of them are genuinely coming out because the things are true, and but some of them are just, it really has been that really type ordeal. Some of it can be questionable, and then some of them can be okay, I see where this was what it was and type of deal. But I can see where you're saying it is kind of it's almost, we're kind of going in a backdoor type deal to raise ourselves up to, get that person or get those people or those males to back off and say, okay, we're equal, which we are equal. But backdoor doing it is not always the best. But being honest, just being honest.
Okay. Well, ladies, that's all my questions. Anything y'all want to talk about? are mentioned.
I do want to go back to the whole women raising men or raising boys. That can happen. You can raise raise a boy. Raise a man. But you've always, because I have plenty of friends as well as seen plenty of male that were raised by their mothers, and they are just fine, no problem. They know what a man's role is, because as a woman, when you raise a male child, you have to know that you're not raising just a child. You're raising someone that you want to be a leader. You're raising somebody that you want to know how to pay bills, how to be a provider, know how to take care of yourself, know how to take care. If you do bring on someone else in your life, you're raising a man, but you can't make him a man. Because yes, you do need those male figures in your life. If it be an uncle, or be a church leader, or if it be somebody in the community. But women that have that type of mindset know that they can do so much for a male child, and they know when they need to have someone else step in that's a male that can show them different things. And women that raise male children are very protective of them anyway, because they already know what's coming up against them. They already know what they can face. So any woman is going to do what she needs to do to raise her son. Okay, boy, you're not going to do this. Boy, you're not going to do that. This is what you need to do. You're being protective of them. But yeah, you can raise a male child, but you're going to need some assistance from an actual male son, from somewhere.
Definitely agree with that.
And I think the thing regarding that is, in a relationship, if a man's looking for a woman to make him feel like a man, it's kind of what I was like. If even a woman, you can't, like, you need to come into it. And of course,
you can't be his
mama.
Right.
It's a perfect situation. Like, you can't like, you shouldn't come into a relationship looking for somebody to make you feel like who you are always supposed to be when you know what I mean? I can't make you feel a certain way. I can encourage you. I can, but I can't make you, like, you're not making me feel like a man. And a woman, like I said, a woman can speak to him and stuff. And I don't know. I feel like we just put so much on the other person in relationships because of our, our issues in the past. Like, we can just put so much on a relationship, or put so much on the other person to where it is dysfunctional and it's not gonna, work well, or it's really just a burden to the other person because of our past issues. That's why I know it's not a perfect world, and you're gonna come into the relationship and still develop and still heal, etc. But a lot of stuff we can get done before this even happens, and it can just help the relationship go further.
Well, question: how do you divorce an ex?
Divorce an ex?
Yeah, like you just said, like, she just mentioned the word heal. Come into a relationship, you gotta heal, yada yada yada. But how do you divorce the previous person without bringing them into the next person's?
That is a great question. If it be the fact that what you're carrying is because of that person, that if the hurt that you're carrying is because of that person, and you need to get it out, then there may need to be a conversation that you have with that person. It don't have to be that whole emotional, you hurt me, No, be honest. Like, you have to be honest with that person. Like, okay, so we're not together anymore, but I'm gonna be honest with you. This is what happened in this relationship that makes me feel the way that I am, and I want you to know that you did this, and I'm not here to argue with you about it or anything. This is how I felt about it, and pretty much I just want you to know. And the funny thing is, it has to come from you. I forgive you for it. I'm over it. It happened. It's done. Even if and you have to listen to the person as well, because it may not have been that intention. You may have just taken it that way, but you just be like, I'm over it. This happened between us. We had this problem. I've been carrying this into all of my relationships. Or I've been carrying it to whatever. I just want you to know this is what was done. This is how I feel about it. But I forgive you for it, and I refuse to allow myself to carry it anymore, because I know what I want, and I can't have it if I'm still holding on to you. Yeah. That's how you divorce it. It's over, and cut ties.
Mainly closure.
Yeah.
Man, even if you can't speak to them to get closure, I feel like if you how to get over it, recognizing the negativity that you're still carrying from that, confronting it head on, and kind of working through pulling down those thoughts, like pulling down, okay, I'm feeling this way about this because I believe this. It don't make sense, so let me, just try to work, I don't know, recognize it. A lot of self-awareness and recognizing honesty and confronting is
putting it in front of putting it in front of yourself and saying this is what it is, and I cannot, either I'm gonna continue to hold on to it, to this baggage, or I'm gonna let it go. And if you continue to hold on to that baggage, you need to let the next person know that this is the baggage I carry. I have yet to learn how to let it go. So, because that gives that person the opportunity to say yes or no. Because if you just go into a blind side and you know you carry your baggage, that's kind of messed up, because you're throwing that baggage on that person. But if you're telling that person, then they are aware of it, and sometimes you're gonna get that woman or that man like, I can help you, I got you.
And they don't know what they're doing.
I'm being honest with you right now. So if you're gonna do this, you're gonna be down like 2 flat tires. You're gonna be down for it. But no, you, as a person, you have to be able. If you can't talk to that person that's done it to you, you gotta confront yourself. Put that stuff in front of you and say, either I want to hold on to it, or I'm gonna just let it go. Letting it go is gonna be the hardest thing, but you have to forgive yourself as well as that person that did it to you. If you can't forgive them, you just hold on to something that will never let go.
Okay. Well, ladies, I end with a Sonyaism.
Let's see.
And a Sonyaism is basically my thoughts that I would put on Facebook through the years. And so, the Sonyaism for this show is when someone goes out their way to let you know how happy they are, it's a clear sign that they aren't. And we'll let that ponder until the next show. And that is the Pressed Onion Podcast. Ladies, want to thank y'all for coming out. Got some good information from you all. Hopefully the males was listening, and hopefully the ladies was listening as well. And that way, we can still continue giving some good information on these shows. That's it for us. And again, ladies, thank you all. And that's the Pressed Onion Podcast. Oh.